name is Darryl Growing Thunder. I'm from the Fort Peck Reservation in the northeast corner of Montana. From the Assiniboine and Sioux tribes, as well as Suquamish on my dad's side. And I am a ledger artist. I love ledger art. I love doing it. I especially love the older style. That was my inspiration. And so I really try to adhere to that style of ledger art. And I know there's other styles out there, and I can appreciate those as well. But for me, what really makes me love doing it is the older style, and trying to pay homage to my ancestors and everything that they've been through in their lives, and allowing Native peoples to be here today doing this art. And so I really think about them a lot, and I really try to do the best that I can to pay respect to my ancestors through this style of art which they originated. And so I really try to adhere to my Dakota style, Assiniboine style of design, and I try to depict that style of Indian art as far as being historically and correct. And so I pay a lot of attention to the detail.
Hi, I'm Chris Papan. I do ledger art and paintings. This is my second year here at the Herd. I've been working as an artist all my life. I really started getting into my groove, just getting really comfortable with where I'm at with my work about the past 8 or 10 years. So, and then the past couple of years, it's really starting to take off. So, especially doing the Herd here. So.
Some of the history behind ledger art, as I know it, was that it was developed during the early reservation periods, around the turn of the century, after the wild herds of buffalo were pretty much decimated, and our ancestors didn't really have the surplus of hides that they once had to record events and history of events that happened in their lives. So they adapted and overcame that obstacle by utilizing these antique ledger books, or they weren't antique at that time, but ledger books, and recorded their events in their lives that they wanted to be remembered. And so there's usually some kind of story or significance by ledger art, and so that's one thing ledger artists, I think, should kind of keep in mind. Although it is nice just to do something for aesthetics, but I think a big part of ledger art and art in general is to have some kind of a purpose.
The history of ledger art started around turn of the 20th century, a little bit before that. When Indians were put into prison camps, they were given the ledger books from the soldiers to draw in, and they would document the way their life used to be, and various battles and stuff. And their form of art back then was very pictographic. So what I'm doing is just taking that art form, the tradition of ledger art, and bringing it forward into the next century. What sparked my interest in doing the ledger art is I was actually kind of rooting around in my office supply room at my day job, and I found some contemporary ledger paper, like this, the green paper here, and I thought, oh, they still make ledger paper, that means I can still do ledger drawing. So just kind of applied the way I like to draw towards the ledger paper, and that's how it's come about. And so now what I'm doing is I'm actually kind of going back and getting the old ledger paper. What I like to do, some of the other contemporary ledger artists, they're able to track down these documents that are more relevant, like Indian roll pages and stuff. And I think those are really interesting, and I would like to find more of that.
With that, I encourage any other ledger artists out there to continue to do this. If they want to, and to remember where ledger art came from and the people that originally started doing it, and so it can continue to provide for future generations.